In this episode of Anna Gare's Cab Fair, I meet Cyril.
I'm an artisan baker, pastry chef.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Yes! Really? I get the recipes for sweet success with his Zingy lemon tart, whip up the most decadent chocolate mousse.
Bonjour!
Later, I surprise the whole family with a basket of treats. Voila!
Yeah, that's lamb spoon.
Maybe...
Does anyone else want to... Yeah.
I'm Anna Gare. As a cook, I spend a lot of time getting in and out of cabs. I love meeting cab drivers from all around the world, collecting their recipes and then cooking it up for the whole family to enjoy. I'd love you to try one. Join me for Anna Gare's Cab Fair. Hi.
Hello, Anne. Welcome.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
Cyril.
Hi, Cyril.
It's a beautiful day too. Look at this.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Magnificent.
So how long have you been living in Australia for?
I've been living nearly 15 years now. And left France back in the 90s to work in New Zealand, yeah, with a visa. I'm an artisan baker, pastry chef.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Yes! I've nailed a great cabbie. I love getting recipes from cab drivers.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
so I'm gonna...
I think you've got the right spot today.
You are a baker.
I did leave France a long time, which is nearly 30 years ago. Discovering Sydney at that time, as it was my first step into the country, blew my mind.
And you were still in the kitchen.
And I was still in the kitchen for sure, yeah. And from that, I actually meet my wife, which is my wife now.
Was she a waitress?
She was actually
Usually
a
is
waitress.
the waitress. Yeah. You guys never get out the kitchen. So did you win over your wife with a beautiful dessert recipe? With a chocolate mousse? Or is there one dish that you won her over with?
Yeah.
What was it?
Complicated.
Dear, what kind of dish is this? Maybe I won't ask for the recipe, but what was
Well, we
it?
can start with a lemon tart.
A lemon tart wins many
Lemon
hearts.
tart. I would have put the meringue on top for her.
Really? Lemon tart, you got a good recipe?
Yes, of course. Look, it's one of them, again, a traditional one, which you will base by 3 lemon. The little exquisite thing I will do for myself, it's brought another 2 lime with. That's where your zinc will be
Nice.
more sharp.
Well, it's not every day you get to sit next to a French pastry chef and get all of his recipes. Today, I'm going to knock up a toute sweet dessert menu for Cyril and his family. So I'm going to make Cyril's lemon tart. He calls for 150 grams of butter, about 2/3 of a cup of icing sugar. This has been sifted. You do not want any lumps, especially when you're going to be serving it to a pastry chef. A little tad of vanilla, and then simply turn it on and whip it till it's really creamy. Right, I'm just going to push that mixture down into the bowl because it's not a huge batch. I'm going to add 1 egg, and first of all, I'm going to crack this into a bowl because I don't want any shells in my pastry for Cyril. And then we turn that up to high speed to make it even more creamy. And that's lovely, soft and creamy. Yes. So now we add 2 cups of flour and half a cup of almond meal. I've never added almond meal to my pastry, but I'm imagining it's going to give it a very special crumb. And I'm just going to mix this until it just comes together. Perfect. Right, and I'm just going to mix the rest of this together with my fingers. And I can tell that this is going to be a really beautiful dough because it's so lovely and soft. So this is ready to wrap, and we're just going to pop it in the fridge for about 1 hour. So the pastry's rested. And now we're just going to roll it between 2 more sheets of plastic. Cyril, being a pastry chef, he's going to want my pastry to be really nice and thin because then it's more delicate. Okay, we're nearly there. You know, if you cook everything from scratch, you get a good workout and you don't have to go to the gym. What we do now is we pop the whole sheet attached to the plastic, and this is the great thing about having this sheet. And then you can actually put the plastic on, just go around the edges and make sure you've sort of vaguely got it in there, and then you peel it off. Now, here's a great little trick. To remove all the excess pastry, we just run the rolling pin over the top. So the best way to cook your pastry base is to blind bake it. You get a sheet of paper, you pop it over the top of your base, flatten it down like so. I get any old rice or old beans on my shelf, and I just pour them into my case. And this will stop your pastry from shrinking down. So this goes into the oven for about 15 minutes at 180. When Cyril was talking in his beautiful French accent, he said that his secret ingredient was lime. So I've got 1/4 cup of lime and 3/4 cup of lemon juice. Right, the filling, simple. So 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, and 2/3 cup of naughty double cream. In she goes. Right, we just whisk that all together. With the sieve, in she goes. No rind for Cyril. I imagine he likes it luscious and smooth and French. Oh, look, you can see it's all coming together. That is gorgeous. So in goes most of the filling. You'll see why in a minute. Not all of it, most of it. It's always a bit tricky moving a tart case when it's full. That's why I've saved a little bit for when it's in the oven. I top it up with the filling, and that way it will stay in there. Oh la la, how gorgeous is this? All it needs is some soft whipped cream. And what made you turn to taxi driving?
The last 3 years, I have lots of children, 3 of them. But I couldn't be too far from them, so I was need to reset myself and have a different way of be more closer.
How old are your kids?
Oh, I've got these 3 lovely babs, 10, 8, and 5, which is 2 girls,
Yeah.
10 and 8, Sophie, Isabel, and 5 is Liam. Yeah, they're lovely. They enjoy.
They get into the kitchen?
I'm like, look, you must. It's, again, a succession of your heritage you need to give.
What's one of your favourite desserts that you used to make? If you could share that recipe with me,
Classic
that'd be
chocolate
amazing.
mousse. It's
I love
one
a
of
good chocolate mousse.
And properly made. You need a sabayon, you know. You need
oui,
a
oui.
good meringue, Steve Pig, and of course a good rich chocolate, dark or milk.
70%.
For sure, if
The
it's that
best.
one, it's the best. You know, I mean, you must not hesitate to have always your quality of ingredients with you. You know.
Oh, can you tell me how to make it exactly?
Yeah.
I'll write it down in my little taxi driver cooking
Here we
book.
go.
I'm channeling my inner Cyril. You know, I've made chocolate mousse 100 times, but I've never made one like Cyril. His was also French, you know, his sabayon and the way he talked about it. I just can't wait to try it. So I've got 300 grams of 70% dark cooking chocolate here in the bowl, and I've chopped it all up. We don't want to mess around with trying to melt great big slabs. Chop it up, makes it so much easier. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of cream. This is what Cyril said. A little dash of vanilla, a dash of espresso if you have any left after your last coffee, woo, about a tablespoon. And then basically this goes over a double boiler. So whilst that's melting, we're just going to whip up some egg whites, and Cyril used 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And away we go. Okay, so I've got lovely soft peaks. Now I'm going to turn it up to high speed and add 2 tablespoons of sugar. perfect. We've got lovely soft peak, so that's ready to go. That can just sit there. Now I'm going to get very Frenchy on you, and I'm going to make a sabayon. Okay, so I've got 3 egg yolks. They go into the bowl. We're going to add this to the chocolate mix. 2 tablespoons of sugar, and we're just going to whip this till it's lovely and creamy. So this is like basically the beginnings to a custard. So we're ready to go on the bain-marie. So this is perfectly melted. And in actual fact, if you were using alcohol, you would add that in when you added the coffee and the vanilla. I know Cyril was quite keen for a little bit of rum. So that's melted and ready. And now for my sabayon. So very simple, just eggs and sugar, and you have to keep beating to form a really beautiful, light, creamy sauce. That's looking good. See how that's got a lovely ribbon to that now? That is ready, so we'll remove that from the heat. Oh my gosh, it's looking delicious. And then that goes into our chocolate mixture. Oh my gosh. And then we just fold that in. And I feel like I'm doing an ad for some fabulous French chocolate bar at this point. Look at that. I think that's pretty good. And this is ready. So we're going to add our egg whites. And we just want to fold that in. Keeping all that air in, just gently folding it through. Right, now it's time to transfer it. I'm just going to use my finger here. So I've got 6 lovely glasses. Now, I'm going to use an ice cream scoop. This is a fantastic trick my friend Amanda taught me. Just stick it in. So much easier if you don't have a piping bag. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it really is almost impossible to stay clean, but I mean, really, do you call chocolate mess ever? Oh, no. Then I just pop these in the fridge for about an hour or so, and then I'm going to top with fresh raspberries. That's all they need. Do people tell you all their problems sometimes? Do they get in and unload?
No.
Never?
Life is not a problem.
And what do you love about driving a cab?
Oh, it's as we do right now, you know, and talking and experiencing values and positivity and, yeah, you know, where we come from, our background. That's what is a melting pot from 1-3 cabs. We are a melting pot of nationality where your food will, you know, be so diverse, I would say.
But you know what I'd love to do? I want to go home, cook your recipes up.
Yes.
Do the chocolate mousse and lemon tart.
Okay.
And then I'd like to bring it back to you and your family.
Okay.
And you can critique my work.
Critique or judgment, I think they would be very well made.
I like to think so. I mean, I've had a very good teacher.
There we go. So I believe an apprentice can beat the master.
Yes, I like it.
I love it, and you're more than welcome, please.
So to complete this gorgeous afternoon tea party, I'm going to make some macarons because I think they're so French and they're so chic. So to make your macarons, you start by sifting 120 grams of icing sugar, pure icing sugar, and 120 grams of almond meal. And the reason why we do this is because we want to create a really lovely light mixture and get rid of all the lumps. Right, now we just combine this mixture together and that's lovely and light, just the way we want it. Make a little well in the centre. Now for this recipe, I'm using 90 grams of egg whites, but I pop just 40 into the middle of this well. There's 2 ways to go when you're making macarons. You can either make a French meringue, which is beating up the egg whites and slowly adding in the sugar, or you can make an Italian meringue, which is what I actually prefer because you make it with a hot sugar syrup and the meringue is stiffer and is more stable to work with. So to make our sugar syrup, I'm using 115 grams of caster sugar into the pot and then 2 tablespoons of water, now just to cover the sugar. So the reason why we use a pastry brush to make sure there's no sugar on the sides of the pot is because it will crystallise and ruin your sugar syrup. So we just arc the heat up, nice sort of medium to high heat to get this syrup going. I mean, what a wonderful way to get people together. I've just baked up a bunch of macarons. You're so tempted to stir in that last little bit that hasn't melted yet, but you mustn't. If you touch it, you'll destroy it. Just the way we love it. So, into my mixing bowl, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh. Then we just turn it on and whip it till there's soft peaks happening. Slowly, slowly drizzle the sugar syrup in. And then we continue to beat for about 10 minutes until it cools down. And she's ready. A lovely stiff mixture, and that's how it needs to be. And the other way you can tell is if you can turn it upside down, it's ready. That was lucky. Okay, now all we do is we mix our Italian meringue with our lovely almond and sugar mixture, all in one big go. And now I'm just combining all of that mixture together, and it's coming together beautifully. Some people make a macaron. They mix the egg white with the almond and sugar, and then they add little bits of the meringue at a time. But I find it works just perfectly when you do it all at once. Into our piping bag, and I've popped this into a cup so it doesn't spill out, and I've flipped the little spout back so it won't pour out the end. And in she goes. A lot of people love to colour their macarons, and you'd actually add the colour in with the almond meal and sugar stage, but I like them just natural and beautiful. So here we go. Now we're just going to pipe this mixture into all these little circles. I've done 12 circles altogether. So now the best way to pipe your macarons is straight from the middle. And then we leave these on the bench. It's good fun, that bit. We leave these on the bench for about half an hour for a really nice, shiny, firm skin to form. And then we'll pop them in the oven. OK, now while these little babies are in the oven, I'm going to show you how to whip up a very simple mascarpone honey cream. So, half a cup of mascarpone and half a cup of cream straight into the bowl, a teaspoon of honey, and then just half a teaspoon of vanilla paste. And then we simply just whisk it up until it's lovely and thick. Oh, that's coming together nicely. And that is perfect. I'll just have a tiny little taste. Perfect sweetness with the honey. So these are cooled and we're ready to roll, and they're perfect. They've all got their lovely little feet, the little crunchy bit on the bottom, which is just the way they should be. So basically, all I do is turn one over. I add 2 little spoons of the cream into the centre. Add some strawberries. You could put any berries in you like. Another little spoon on top. Pop on his hat, and then simply dust with icing sugar. And that's it, strawberry and mascarpone macarons. Well, I'm feeling good. I think I'll have sweet success with Cyril and his family.
Oh, Anna, bonjour!
Cyril, bonjour.
Ça va? It's nice to see you.
3, 4. And that's the way you do it in the
Bienvenue.
burbs.
Voilà, tout à fait. Bienvenue.
Beautiful.
Inside.
They kiss 4 times in Lorraine.
Yes, all the time, 4 times. Here we go, Anna.
Oh.
This is my family.
Hello.
This is Isabelle.
Hello, Isabel. Gorgeous to meet you.
This is my wife, Divina.
Davina, hello. Are you all hungry?
Yeah.
That's good, because your dad's given me all of his recipes and I've got a surprise for him and you all. So, shall I go to the kitchen and put them on a plate? And here we go.
Yeah, look at this.
What a lovely
Fabulous.
thing to do.
This is magnificent.
Cyril, that was such a delight to make. The pastry was so beautiful and soft. Would you like to cut it, Cyril?
You think so?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, and the party begins.
Nice.
What would you like?
I want the chocolate mousse.
Chocolate mousse? Chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse there. Chocolate mousse.
Sounds a favorite one already.
There you go. What would you like?
Macaron.
Oh, yes, you can.
Can you see?
I love it. It's
So silky and
so beautiful. I couldn't taste this before I brought it over to you, of course, because it was a whole tart.
the zinc.
I couldn't take a bite out of it, could I,
Really
kids? I've got a cheeky question for you. Is this better than your dad's? Tiny bits. Not at all. Not at all.
All right. I will say definitely that today, Anna, the apprentice have beat the master.
C'est super.
Très bien. Definitely.
That's really cool. I've done you proud.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Anna, thank you so much. See you next time. Come on, come on, come on.